What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. Welcome to the Just Gonna Say It podcast. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. We are in the Southeast, obviously. We're in Georgia, and so it has been raining for days straight. Excuse me. So, we're still kind of above water, though. So hopefully all of y'all who are further south than us are still surviving the various raininess that's going on because of a hurricane that's named after my mom, actually. It's kind of weird. Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. Welcome to this podcast. We do this every Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. We do it live, and then probably tomorrow morning I will upload it to the podcast platforms so that those of you that don't like to watch videos can listen to it in your cars and such. There you go. I will say that the live stream itself is ad free, so you can don't have to worry about ads during the live stream. So that's cool. We've been doing that way for a while. Feel free to support the old goings on with a super chat or some other such thing, or you can go to Dylan Talks Tone, buy some pickups, that sort of thing, because we don't really have sponsors and etc. One of the things I will tell you is that we're trying something. We're going to try it a little bit. We're going to start doing some limited weekly drops. So Saturday morning at 9 a.m., we're going to drop a couple of cool things. There's only going to be a couple of them. Not like a product that we're adding on the website now, but just some custom things. We're going to put them in the pickup vault, and they're going to be very limited. 1 or 2 sets, something cool. Pickups, maybe a hat or a t-shirt, something like that. They're not going to be around long, just a couple of weeks, and then we'll move on to something else just to, keep things fresh and keep things cool. So that'll be a pretty neat thing. So I just want to tell everybody about that as well, because that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so, let's talk about this whole, you saw the thumbnail. That's probably why you're here. So we're going to talk about collectors versus players versus enthusiasts. It's an interesting concept because I think there are a lot of guitar players who will say the guitar is a tool, like a screwdriver. But as we know, there are different reasons for having a guitar. So we're going to kind of dive into that and kind of dive into that whole just plain user, like player just to play user versus the enthusiast and the collector. So let's talk about the guitar itself. The guitar is a piece of wood or some substance with some strings on it, right? And it makes sound. So strum guitar makes sound, like at the very bottom of it. And we have all kinds of, the essence of it is it's just a thing that makes sound when you pluck the strings, and it's tuned to a certain thing, so you can do what you want with it. So for everybody who says the guitar is just a tool and I don't care what color it is and I don't care, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I know you're lying. Second of all, we're going to dive into this a little bit. Hang on, we got a super chat. Ad free, even in Canada. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate your super chat, sir. Thank you very much. So, obviously, we have the basic elements of what an electric guitar is, right? And we have then on top of that, things that take the guitar beyond just the basic elements of what a guitar is. What makes a particular guitar neat? Like, it doesn't matter what brand, I don't care at this point. We're just talking about guitars in general. So you've got a $200 guitar, for example, and you've got a $15,000 guitar. And people will say, I would never spend X amount of dollars, or this is how on earth could a guitar be ever worth $15,000? That makes no sense to me. But I think what happens is there is an arrogance that happens, and it happens a lot with people who are not willing, and I don't mean this, we're not talking about budget here. So it could be you're not willing because you don't have the money, or B, you don't want to spend the money on a particular thing. So it doesn't matter your economics, okay? But the decision, for some reason, doesn't matter what the reason is, has been made that you do not want to spend money on a particular thing. And there is an arrogance that goes with that says everybody else who spends money on this thing is dumb. All you need is this, right? Which is sort of interesting. We're not saying that that's wrong. It's totally fine to enjoy something for just its utility. You know, you might be that guitar player who's like, you know what? All I care is that strum guitar sound comes out of guitar. Like, you know what I mean? I think you're lying, but I think that that's okay if you profess to be that person. What's cool is if you're the person who says $200 guitar, strum, make music, that's all I need. I don't need anything cool. But I applaud you if you're a person who says, hey, what do you have? Oh, that's cool. It costs more than what I have. It has some other features that I personally don't care about, but I'm also very interested. I'm curious. I think that's neat. I applaud people that understand that other people like stuff that I don't like. I love that. I think that's very, very cool. Because the bottom line is this. There are very few of us who do not like anything beyond its strictest utility. The minute you say, I want to pick a color, I like how this feels, I want, it doesn't matter. The minute you do that, you are stretching beyond the general utility of the item, right? Now, we know that there are tighty-whitey guys out there who are like, as long as it holds my junk in, I don't care. I'm not that guy. But there are those people. It's totally fine. It's totally cool. However, my guess is that between the user, the collector, and the enthusiast, every person, to some extent, if you are honest with yourself, is going to be at least two of those things to some extent. You might not say you're a collector, but if you have more than one thing and you have a reason for that, you have a collection, right? If you are, if you like a thing just to like it for no other reason than just to like it, then you are an enthusiast. I mean, if you're into that thing because it's cool, then you are an enthusiast. And there are aspects of those things that it's good, like, right? Like it's good to have that perspective. Nobody really is just a guitar player. And I've said it a bunch of times till this point, but the people that say, I only play guitar and it's a tool and that's all I use it for, they're lying. Because they choose a guitar based on how it feels, based on how it looks, even though they don't say that. Because if I hand you one of my guitars that's pink, you're going to have something to say about it. That tells me that you care, right? So, the cool part about this is that it's very healthy to make sure that you like what you like and you don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. 100%. 100%. You should be that person. Absolutely like what you like. However, it is also healthy to recognize that other people like stuff too. So I'm a collector of many things. Not so much a guitar collector, although I do have some things that I like just because I like them. And I would consider myself more of a player and more of a collector and an enthusiast. The utility that I see in guitars is a tool for developing products. I am actually not, obviously, I'm not a very good guitar player, so I do enjoy it, but I am not like, it's not, I'm not going to make my living playing guitar. The tool that I use it for, the player part of it, the utility that I use it for is for developing products. Beyond that, I'm an enthusiast of the hobby. I'm an enthusiast of the thing. I think they're cool. I love the engineering. I love all of it. I think it's really, really cool. And I'm also a collector, right? Like I love collecting stuff. I mean, obviously I've got, because I like to see things. I like to understand things. I like to learn things. I like to know everything there is that I can know, which I can't know everything. Nobody can know everything. About this stuff, which is really, really, really fun. Pink guitars need Hello Kitty stickers. I love that. So I think it's really cool and it's really healthy when folks want to be educated on something, when they want to learn about something that they're not personally, you might not even be interested in it, but you might want to know about it. You might be curious about it. And it all starts with, I need a new guitar, right? So like you could be the person who says, I'm never going to spend X amount of dollars over X amount of dollars. Like I'm never, pick whatever that is for you. This particular budget guitar is good enough for me and I'm never going to spend more than that. And, in order to enjoy guitars, you do not have to get out of that. You could do it. You could be that guy and you could love it. And I will love it. If you tell me about it, I will love it. I think it's great. So you don't have to want more stuff. You don't want to have to want more expensive stuff, or a collection of stuff to enjoy this hobby, right? Like we can just like what we like and have what we have. But the chances are you probably will. You probably will see something along the way and you'll go, that's pretty cool. I can't afford it right now. I'm not in a position to buy it right now, but that's pretty cool. Allow that curiosity to be a thing. It will start out as a tool, but even as we gain experience as guitar players, we will see the aspects of each instrument that makes it cool. And as we get more experience playing, we will become more educated on what makes our playing experience. No, that's backwards, forwards, but it's true. The more experience we gain, the more we'll understand the little nuances of this and that's and this and that's that make our playing experience better. And so rising to that and allowing ourselves to be like, oh, I learned this thing about this thing, and now I want to try this new thing because I want to see if it feels better. I want to see if it makes me a better player. I want to know. You know what I mean? Now, there's a few ways you could go with this. This way of handling that step away from just being the utility guy. You could say, I don't care. I'm just going to do my thing. I'm just going to be a utility guy and I'm just going to ignore everybody else and I'm not going to pay attention and I'm just going to go back to playing this guitar that I've always had and I only have one guitar and I don't care what color it is and it's just a tool. And you could just not care, right? Totally fine. You could still come over to my house. We will jam. I will love playing your guitar. You can tell me all about it. I think it's awesome. There's no downside to that whatsoever. Or you could be very curious, like we just talked about. Be like, what does that thing do? Do I need one of those? Nah, not really. What about this other thing? And allow that curiosity as you grow as a guitar player to not necessarily have a goal of collecting or etc., but the enthusiasm for what we do will grow. I think, I hope it does, right? And you'll become more curious. The third thing that could happen though, is that arrogance can come back, where you could say, I see it in the comment section all the time, mostly on Gibson videos, and they'll be like, anybody that spends this much money, anybody that buys a Gibson is stupid because there's an Epiphone that exists and it's just as good. The just as good guys, there's this arrogance about them that says you there's no point in what you're doing. What I'm doing is better, and you're stupid because you've spent this money. You're stupid because you have, etc. That's what they're saying, right? To be honest with you, if you have spent any time caring about how somebody else spends their money on a thing that they enjoy, that's a pretty pathetic way to spend your life. I'm just going to say it. It is. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. So, if you're that guy in the comments all the time who's like, expensive guitars suck and cheap guitars and blah, 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 and it's arrogance. That's what it is. It is arrogance. Now, you might say, you out of here? I love you.
I love you.
Have a good day.
I will.
Be careful because it's raining everywhere. Have fun. Brianna's going to work. The thing is that it's possible that if you allow that arrogance to dissipate, that you may crack the surface of some curiosity and start enjoying yourself more. Anybody who wastes their time on any of that kind of stuff is just wasting life. You're just wasting life, and you're just, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why people do that. It's funny because they don't do it in other forms of life. Now, there are people that do, but they're very usually. So I always equate this kind of thing to cars because I'm a major gearhead. If you think I like guitars a fraction of the amount that I like anything with an internal combustion engine or anything that can be raced. Okay. I love motorsports and power sports 100%, way more than guitars ever even got close to. Those who are close to me know why. It was my whole former profession, etc., designing dirt bike parts, etc. In the car space, there are commuters and there are drivers, right? I'm a driver. I am a performance enthusiast. I understand the physics of driving a car. I understand the physics of operating it on the edge of its limit. And I've been doing it since I was very, very young, and I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm not bragging when I'm just telling you I'm not slow. Okay. I can drive. There are commuters who say, okay, car, go. Car, stop. Now I'm at work. Right. And those folks, that's okay. But they also know that they're like that. And they know that somebody else drives a Porsche 911 and they have a Toyota Prius, but they understand that those things do different jobs, right? Typically, unless they're a jerk, they don't attack others for saying, oh, you like driving more than me. But for some reason in the guitar space, we do this. I don't get it. I don't get why guitar players do that to each other, unless you're like, I don't know, have the intelligence of a potato, you understand the performance difference between and the need and the difference between a Toyota Prius and a Porsche 911. Right? Like, and the desire of some folks to not want to go fast and some folks to want to go fast. Guitars are the same thing. There are some guitars that serve a need in this particular budget and they do this particular thing. And then there are certain things that extend beyond that with features and workmanship and history, and etc. that make them cost more, that you may not be in a position right now. I'm not saying you never will, but right now, maybe you don't appreciate them. Don't be a jerk to the people that think differently. Just because you don't understand it doesn't equate to it not mattering at all. Guitar players are very, very self-centered about this. It's like, I see it in the comments all the time. I think this, therefore the rest of the world is wrong. You're one person, okay? You're one person. There are thousands of people. We see this. Custom shop Gibsons, custom shop Tellys, custom shop Strats, special edition custom shop stuff. They sell out in minutes. Minutes. It means that there are people out there that love that stuff. They appreciate it. They understand what it is, even though you may not. So it's not, those people aren't stupid. I mean, they're doing something if they can afford it as like disposable income. They're not stupid. Just saying. Right? So it's just the fact that they enjoy it, beyond utility. They enjoy it beyond that utility. They've become curious about a thing, and they really enjoy it. So here's a question. What kind of guitar player are you? Are you the person who is, puts their toe in or sticks their nose into a community and sees that everybody is dumb because they don't like what you like, or, etc., and then just leaves? That's lazy. That's just dumb, I think. Like, why are you so lazy of a person? I don't get it. Or are you a person who is like, hey, tell me about your thing. Do you want to learn stuff? Do you want to be curious? Are you an enthusiast about guitar players? So the cool part is everybody can do whatever they want, right? We can all do whatever we want. It's awesome. Super fun. The only thing I would say is this. I hope that everybody is curious about guitar stuff. Okay? And I don't mean, and the guitar hobby in general, I don't mean about the gear. Okay? I don't care what capacitors you have. I don't care what pots you have. I don't care what finishes on your guitar. I don't care how old your guitar is. I don't care where your guitar is made. I don't care how much your guitar costs. Unless you play a counterfeit and you're into that stuff, then that's not cool to me. But otherwise, I don't care. I think it's cool. Okay? I love it. I love all of it. I want to know about the story. I want to know about why you play that guitar. Why did you start playing guitar? Guitars without the people are just pieces of wood. We've seen the dumpsters full of guitars that are, like being thrown away or whatever. It's just wood. It means nothing without the people. So the people are the center of how all this stuff works. They're the people, us, that talk to each other every day. We're the ones that matter, right? The guitar doesn't actually matter. They're cool, but they are really just fueling the people. That's all it is. So enjoy that. Don't spend time on stuff you don't like. Don't spend time in comment sections saying stuff you don't like. It's a dumb way to spend your life, right? Like, it's just a dumb way. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Why would you take something fun that you love, you profess to love, and then just talk about all the stuff you hate about it all the time? Makes no sense. Like, why would you inject stress into a thing that is supposed to be creative? Makes no sense. It's really something to think about, right? Like, just don't do it. Just don't do it. I want to know from you and from everybody. And I'm really thinking about this with how we build this channel. We just hit 100,000 subscribers last week. So it's been giving me a lot of thought about the direction that I want to go in the future. And to me, I love this gear stuff. I do. I really love it. It's fun. I'm a technical nerd about all this junk, right? And that's how I address everything. It's how I address firearms. It's how I address knives. It's how I address sound. It's how I address fountain pens, whatever. I mean, I've been nerding out about paper, okay? Like my favorite paper to write on. So being a nerd about stuff's fun. Do not forget about the people. If you disagree with the people who think something differently than you about a guitar, either first of all, look at yourself, because why? Why does it even matter? Find out about the person. I honestly don't care what guitar you play. I do not care. If I meet you, let's say we meet, because this happens a lot. Let's say I meet you randomly. It happens all the time. We'll be out traveling somewhere. I was at the Yellowstone National Park a couple years ago. Some guy from France who watches the channel ran across the parking lot and said hello to me. We did not talk about his guitar. I don't care about his guitar. I mean, you tell me about it. Like, tell me what we have in common. Hey, how did you meet? Well, you know, I bought this guitar and I didn't know how to fix it. And I got on your channel and I learned how to do something and blah, 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 blah. End of discussion. Tell me where you're from. Oh yeah. How long? You know, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're a person. That's what we should be focusing on. Right. And not spending so much time. And I'm not saying not spending so much time on the gear, because that's why we're all here. But don't lose track of the people. It's really important. Somebody said the other day, they're like, I can't believe you're sharing these off-topic posts on my timeline. Like, people come here to learn about guitars. And I'm like, okay, fair point. However, I want to share with you who I am. I'm a person who likes guitars, but I also like other stuff. And the reception to those posts has overall been very good, because people have been like, oh, I didn't know you're into this other thing too. Look at this. We have more stuff in common. And here we are. We're becoming friends over the internet, and all I see is a camera lens, and we're becoming friends because we're sharing stuff. And, you know, I think it's great. And we're building community around it. And so I just think it's really important. I was really thinking about this a lot this week, like how much I really love this and how much I really love making videos. I love it. We've been making a video every day. I just love it. It's so fun, but it's not because of the gear, right? Like, even, okay, I hear this all the time too. Well, you're a YouTuber, so you can afford blah, blah, blah. And you have no, I don't. No, I can't actually. We're not making Mr. Beast money around here. 100,000 subscribers doesn't get you what you think it does. Okay. Just FYI. Second of all, I don't care about showing off anything. What I care about is sharing joy. If you see me post about a new guitar, it's because I'm stoked about it. I never post about a guitar I hate. I don't even put it on the internet. I don't even review it. If we have gear that comes in here I don't like, I don't even talk about it. We actually, I mean, I'll mention it on Patreon. Like, we have our Patreon monthly hangouts, and we were talking last week about a piece of gear that I've been fighting with, and it's not been right, and I've kind of gave up on it. But I won't make a video about it. I won't trash on somebody's brand. I won't do any of that stuff, because I just want to share stuff I love. So if I have a piece of gear that I love, it's not because I'm showing off, it's because I want to share it with you. And if you came over, I would let you play it. You know what I mean? Like this is, you know who I think about like this? I think about like, what's his name? Jay Leno. You know, he's got millions and millions of dollars worth of cars, right? And when you hear him talk about them, he's not bragging like, I have this, you know, McLaren F1 and you don't. He'll talk pretty openly about how we don't actually have anything. We're all just custodians of this stuff, right? After I'm gone, all this stuff will go to someone else in whatever fashion that is, whether it gets willed to somebody, it gets sold to somebody, and the thing and the stories that go with it are all that remain. So I don't care about accumulating the thing. My toy is more expensive than your toy. It's more about sharing the joy. We don't talk about this a lot on this channel, but I got a new pistol up here, and it's not a cheap one. It's a Nighthawk. And we went to the range about 2 weeks ago, and somebody saw me shooting it, and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "It's a Nighthawk." And they're like, "Oh my God, I've never even seen one of those in real life." And like 5 other guys. And I loaded up a bunch of mags, and I was like, "Here you go. Shoot a mag through it, have some fun. Punch some holes in some paper. Now you can say you shot a Nighthawk." Not because I'm bragging. I'm never going to see these people again. They don't know who I am. Doesn't matter. But they got to shoot the coolest gun they ever got to shoot. Same thing with the guitar stuff. If you want to come over here and play my Les Paul, come on over. I don't care. Like, that's the thing. That's what it's for. It's all about it's all about the people, right? It's all about making people smile. That's what music should be about. And so I just think it's really, really important. Don't spend time on stuff you don't like, and don't spend time commenting on stuff you don't like. If you die tomorrow, are you going to be known for the stuff you like or the stuff you don't like? Some of you people in the comment section, I'll tell you what you're known for. Just saying. So, yeah. Super cool. Anyway, little chat for the day. Just be a better person. I've also been watching the Olympics, and I've been paying attention to Tomoe River Paper, Hobonichi 2025 release on September 1st. Yes, I know, actually. I'm actually writing on a Hobonichi. This is a Hobonichi notebook right here with Tomoe River Paper in it right now. Let's see. The moment I saw the pink single H Strat, I knew it needed the Hello Kitty sticker. Yeah, I'm not going to put stickers on that guitar. I like that thing the way it is. It's pretty cool. I love listening to people talk about why their favorite guitar is their favorite. Not their rarest, not their most expensive. Tell me why that one is your favorite. Dude, that's exactly what I'm saying. And that's what's fun, is the story, right? I think that's what we should spend more time on. I really do. Now, obviously, we want to continue to build those experiences, and learning about the guitar is good. So obviously, tomorrow's video that's coming out tomorrow, it's actually already on Patreon. And if you're a YouTube member, you've probably already seen it. It's how to put pickups in a Telecaster, right? Super basic. But it's about the story that you're going to build with that. I don't care about the gear itself. I mean, I make the pickups. They're amazing. You should buy them, right? I mean, I know that. I know they're good. Those that own them know they're good. But the fun part is getting the email later on and then sharing it with other folks or reviews or whatever, who is like, "Man, this made this way better, and I've been able to play this and this and this, and I couldn't before." We created an experience, right? What we're doing is we're creating what I do with my business is I create experiences for people. So that's the goal, is to create experiences. Yes, I need to sell products so that we can keep the lights on. Got to make a living. But the way we do that, and what's really important to me, is to create the experiences for people. So it's not necessarily about the technicalities of the gear. Although that does play into it, obviously, and having a knowledge of that stuff does help. But it's about the people. So just be the people that you would want to be in a Facebook group with or in a comment section with. Don't be those other people. Just don't. It's not that hard. You don't have to change who you are to not be an ass. Unless you really are an ass. But I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt you are. You might act like one in the comment section because you're in a comment section, but in real life, I know you're not. Let's see. People talking about tuners. My favorite guitar is the Epi 50s Cherry Burst Les Paul. Oh, yeah. That's the one we built all up. That one was really fun. I'm getting excited about playing more now that road trips are over. For at least a while, setting up a couple of PlayStations in the house and on the deck. Well, that's cool. Geez, you went down the fountain pen rabbit hole. Yeah, it's cool. I love it. You know what's funny? I think the reason I like any of this stuff is it feeds creativity. Even the knife stuff and the firearm stuff. A lot of people say a lot of negative stuff about it, but the reason I'm so into those things is, first of all, I like the engineering. I like the engineering of both of those things. I like the history, but also I like to look outside the guitar space when it comes to how people interact in the communities and also what the marketing is like. I feel like, and you may agree with me, you may not, you might not pay attention to this. You might not have to, right? Like, cause I have a business in this, so I really have to pay attention to it, and you might not have to. I'm not saying you don't pay attention, like you're dumb, you don't pay attention. I mean, like, you just don't have to. But it feels like I'm just kind of tired of guitar marketing. I'm tired of how it's all done. I'm tired of how release day comes, everybody makes the same video. Let's come out with a different distortion pedal that sounds kind of like this one and it has a different graphic on it. I don't know. I'm kind of over it, I guess. Like, so how do we build value into a thing that's so cool? And how do we make people smile with their guitar without having to be a gimmick about it, you know? So looking into those other industries is helpful because, when you look at a pocket knife, I mean, really, a pocket knife is just a pocket knife. There's, it folds up, it comes out, this is an auto, but it folds up, it comes out. But what's different about it? Who are the people behind it? What are they doing? Same thing with the firearm stuff. I bought a Nighthawk because I like the story. One gun, one gunsmith. One guy built it from the beginning to end. That's really, really cool. I watched an alchemy video the other day. I'm like, I might have to give me an alchemy. Because of the story. The reason I have a Chris Reeves Sebenza, because of the story. It is like the best pocket knife ever made ever, but it's about the story. Like, I want to learn about that stuff. And so I think I want to continue. That's what I want to start telling on this channel, is more of the story and really dive into that stuff. So we're going to try to do that. I don't exactly know how yet, but we're going to try to do that. We've got some project guitars coming up and they all have stories to them. And so we're going to try to tell those stories. We're going to try to do that. Kind of longer form documentary type stuff, where not longer form documentary stuff, but like series longer. So like, I'm not going to build a guitar all in one video because it's going to be a development. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you what the beginning of it is. I've got a guitar right now. People have been bugging me for years to make an invisible neck pickup, sort of like the Seymour Duncan, that goes in a Telecaster under the pickguard. And I know what I want to do. I don't know exactly, but I do know what I want to do. I've played one that I liked, and it was made by the man who used to run the Fender Custom Shop before. So like the person who started the Fender Custom Shop built this Telly, and it had these pickups in it. And I was at John Cruz's house and I was playing it, and he let me take the pickguard off and measure a bunch of stuff. And I really like that. So we're going to look at that, but it's going to be a little different than that. But I want to take you on that journey instead of just saying, here's a new pickup that we came out with, because I don't even know if I'm going to make it for sale. I'm going to put it in one guitar. We're going to do some testing with it. I'm going to take you on the journey of that. I'm going to show you what we're doing. I just ordered the parts for it today. They should be here in the next couple of days. Because I got special magnets for it. So, we're going to have to laser cut some special flat work for it. We're going to have to do a bunch of crazy stuff. We're going to test it a bunch of times because I don't even know. I'm coming out of left field with this deal. And I'm going to share that with you. Like, instead of just being like, here's a product, I'm going to share the story with you. I think it's way more important. Yeah. So that's what I want to do. That is what I want to do. Yep. Yeah, this is fun. Anybody got any guitar questions today? Because I know we've been chatting about this other thing more. This is more of a ethereal zone of, oh my God, Dylan is in the Hobonichi cult. So I have the Hobonichi Techo, the little one. And I just like this paper. It's weird because it's not the thin. I don't know how many GSM it is, like grams per square meter. See, told you it's nerdy. I don't know. I just like it. I've been writing on it. I actually got a new one today to replace this one because I'm almost out. Yeah. So yeah, I love writing. Writing helps me a lot. I put out 2 shorts on YouTube the other day and got 800 views already. Dude, that's cool. My short game sucks. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to put more shorts out. It's something that I really, really need to do better. Again, I took this from the knife world. I was watching another knife channel, and he was saying he thinks the majority of his growth on his channel is from shorts. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I not doing this? And he grew like 100,000 subscribers in like 6 months. I'm like, oh my God. But it's knives. It's not guitars. So different audience. Is volume the same as moving air? Like the amount of air is the volume of air moved? No. No. Because you can move a lot of air and not hear it. Because it has to be at a certain frequency for you to hear it, and then the amplitude has to be high enough at that point. It's like a frequency over time. I guess it's a speed over time thing. So, for example, you can move a lot of air at a very slow speed. Moving air is something I know about. Because in the aforementioned power sports industry, airflow through a cylinder head was my thing. You can move a lot of air, but it can be going very slowly. So, the bigger an air passage is, the slower a given volume of air will typically move. So if you have, I'm sitting here thinking about my ceiling fan going right now. You can move more air with a bigger ceiling fan, but it will still be going so slowly that you cannot hear it, right? If you make the ceiling fan smaller and go faster, then you can start to hear it. I guess that's an easy way to kind of illustrate that. I just replaced the Cannabis Rex in my Fender 65 PRRI with a Tone Tubby green ceramic. I hate to admit that Glenn Fricker is right. Speakers are the difference maker. They sure can be. It's funny. Speakers can be huge. You still have to be able to make the sound with the pickup. If the sound's not there in the beginning, doesn't matter. But you're right. They make a massive difference. Hey, Dylan, always tried to avoid messing with the truss rod in setups. Had a cheap bow guitar that had terrible bow, and I had to. Something just clicked, and now my setups are so much better. Good. That's good. Yeah, once you can understand to not be afraid of those, you don't have to move them a whole lot, right? Like, it's not a lot of distance that you're moving them. But yeah. I really want your set of Enduros with the Tort acrylic bobbins. As soon as I get the coin, they're going into a Telecaster. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, those are cool. 60 hertz is a pretty long wave. Yeah, it's like 18 and a half feet. Something like that. I think. 33 feet? I can't remember. It's a lot. It is a lot. Yeah, playing with speakers is really fun. It's just kind of expensive. And I just don't really care. Because to tell you the truth, I do not play through speakers very often anymore. It's just, that's one of those things where like the speaker has just kind of gone away from me. I just don't use them. Because we are in the age of not playing through speakers, you know? I mean, I know people still do, but I don't have a barn in the middle of 5 acres that I can go out there with a 412 cab and play through speakers. I just can't do it. Even I used to have, what is that thing? I used to have a brown face Vibreverb. It was a 210s, I think. And I had Alessandros in it, and it was so loud. And I lived in a neighborhood like I live now, and I couldn't play it at the volume that I wanted to play it. It just wouldn't work. And tube amps, you have to play them a certain way. Otherwise, you don't really get what they really do. And it's just too loud. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too old, I guess. If it's too loud, you're too old. How are the zither stands different from like a regular Hercules one? The guitar hangs and there's nothing below them. And they have the center of gravity is super good. I've had them for 8 years around dogs, around kids, around everything. I've never knocked a guitar over. The way they work, I don't know, man. He's got it figured out, and they're awesome. And what I really like about them is they're great for pictures because you can't see, because, obviously I post stuff, and you can't see the stand really because it's just one post behind it. A Hercules stand makes contact on the bottom. A zither stand doesn't. It's hanging in midair from the top fork. I should do another video about them. They're really good, man. They're really good. I worry that you're losing out on the joy of a tube amp and cabs. Oh, I'm not. Nah. I'm not. I've had tons of them. I enjoy them a lot, and I would enjoy them, but I don't have room. I'm just not that place in my life anymore. I don't care. I know what I know because I've had them. I've had really good ones too, man. I've had some really neat stuff. I played Fuchs for like 5 years. That stuff's freaking amazing. If you can spend $3,800 for a head, they're great. But I don't know. I'm just not in that place. And I think amps is one of those areas. I have a theory about progress in guitar world, and I think it's going to be after the guitar. I think the guitar itself is always going to be, speaking broadly, but the guitar, I believe, is always going to be Telecasters, Stratocasters, 335s, SGs, Les Pauls, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff. variations on those, obviously. You know, some new wacky shapes here and there, but the new wacky shapes aren't ever going to be what those are. I think the guitar, because of the function of it, right? It's like a pocket knife. Same basic shape, right? They're all variations on this because you have to hold on to it to cut stuff. Same thing with a rifle or a pistol. They all have to kind of have a shape, right? To do the thing. Guitars are the same way. If you get too far outside of that, it's just not going to work. So just leave those alone. I think the progress is going to all be after that. How we make music is changing, and I think that's where I want to be. If I ever have the facilities to house a room full of big amps again, I will do it for sure. But I don't feel the need to. I don't feel the need to. How about small tube amps like a Princeton or a Champ? Oh yeah, no, they're great. They're just so freaking loud. I mean, even a Princeton wide open is so loud that you can't play it in a neighborhood without making the neighbors mad. It just doesn't work. Yeah. You guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. This has been super fun. Got a video coming out tomorrow. It's already on Patreon and up for YouTube members. Do me a favor and make sure that you check out dylantalkstone.com today. You'll see a countdown at the top of the screen and a link where you'll be able to go and shop for what's available now. But we also will have another drop of cool stuff coming Saturday morning. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you tomorrow.